The Breakfast Flakes podcast brought to you by the Blue Cat Bar and Grill, next to the Roadside Event Center in Huntley. The Blue Cat, it's where it's at.
524, Mark and Paul checking in. Finally Friday, December 6th, 35 degrees out there, no snow. It is a wonderful winter so far in Montana. A wise man once told me, if you're going to have a drought in Montana, this is the time of year to have it. Well, you guys must be happy getting all this snow.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Come in every morning, play what we want, when we want. First year Paul and I worked together, we got called into the program director's office, got written up for playing Run, Run, Rudolph, a Christmas song, because it wasn't scheduled.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
By the way, that person is no longer here.
Did not last long, actually, in the scope of things. We had gotten word yesterday that the police department, SWAT team, AR-15s were out of Billings West, and it was a hoax that hit many schools. But I see this on Facebook this morning. I work at a local school, and with today's events, I have a few questions. Why was the staff not notified what was going on? We only knew because of social media. Not one email from our fearless leaders downtown.
Wow.
Our admin, nothing. Even after the lockdown was over, crickets. It would be easier to keep our students calmer if we had some idea. I agree. You got to tell people what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
That faculty wouldn't know what's going on, and they're the ones that have the direct contact with the students.
Right, and they get the word on social media, and they see law enforcement all around the building. Well, something's going on. I want to know what the hell it is.
Right, and then the students start to panic.
Yeah,
and then parents start to panic. Well, I'm running to the school to get my child out of there. You're not going to get in.
No,
that's a waste of time. But then again, that doesn't fall on the police. That falls on administrative people, because police, their first... Remember, we had police chief in one day and talked about them. Their first accomplishment they have to do when they go into a school, if there's an active shooter, is to eliminate the shooter.
Right.
And he goes, it's tough because there may be people there with bodies laying there or something, needing help, bleeding, but they've got to run by them and eliminate the threat.
That's right.
That's the first thing they do. And so before a message goes out or, they make sure there's no threat.
Right.
That's how they're trained.
You know what might have helped yesterday? Metal detectors.
I know. You never know. But we have them out there, and there are schools that are using them every day, which is, in fact, one of the schools, Wilson, is Pioneer School. Didn't we send 2 of them out there?
Yes.
We sent 2 of them out there, and they use them, keep their kids safe. Got this in yesterday late before we left. Flakes. Apologize for the delay. Pioneer School's donation ran a bit behind this year, but they do their coin drive. Got started a little late, but it didn't dampen our excitement. In 2 weeks, our kiddos raised an incredible $630.47 just with their coins.
That's amazing.
We're thrilled to get back to an organization that has given so much to our community. Thank you again for everything you do. We'll drop the check off, and I know you're out by 10 a.m., so I'll be mailing the check. Oh, by the way, our wreath sale has already ended. They ship directly to your door when you do that. But you can find them in Albertsons and the Heights, and they're always beautiful. And that's from the Melissa out there, the superintendent. So thank you very much for your help and kids, getting the kids involved. We like that. Awesome. Good stuff.
They do a pretty good job posting stuff on Facebook. Pioneer Elementary, first grade, has been working hard this week to master shoe tying.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Shoe tying. Those are things that are usually done at home, but some kids have bad homes.
Right. And their second graders are running a sock drive now through December 19th. Going to pick up a package of socks, drop it off. They'll take any size, kids through adults.
Huh. Now that's different. I've heard of a coat drive, a shoe drive, stuff like that. Sock drive. There you go. You should do an underwear drive. Got little kids. They go through the underwear. Mommy, I was late. That was the thing. That was one of my things I always had a problem with. When Governor Bullock was trying to get mandatory state-funded preschool for 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
3. They were 36 months old. Some of those kids, folks, who are 3, they're not even potty trained yet.
Some, yeah.
Some kids develop early. Some kids don't. And can you imagine what that would be like for the poor preschool teacher that would have had to do that? Among all the other things she would have to teach her young children is teach them how to go to the bathroom. 3's pretty early. My kids are all successful and all done well, and they didn't start preschool at 36 months of age. So, well, and look at what you just read. Out there, Pioneer, they're still teaching kids how to tie their shoes.
Don't worry, kids. If you don't get the hang of it, get to be my age, you buy them Skechers slip-ins, your problems are all behind you.
Or just keep the shoes off while you're on the couch.
That's worked pretty well for me, too. Had some neighbors drop off something for Christmas the other night. Their daughter, who must be about 10, looked in the window, saw me sleeping on the couch, so they didn't knock, just left it on the porch.
You sure she saw you, or did she hear you sleeping on the...
Could be either.
God. I called Wilson yesterday, folks. He was on the couch, and he sounded like James Earl Jones with laryngitis when he woke up.
I was out.
Yes. Yeah, that was a hoax. I read the information about the, they had threats at Kalispell, Glacier, all over the place. And they think all that came from somebody in a foreign country.
Okay.
Came from out of country somewhere.
I'm wondering how many parking tickets are being written right now, because I haven't seen the little gray-haired guy driving around in his little Ranger putting tickets on windshields. And right now, in partnership with the Downtown Billings Association, the city's parking division is giving out tickets of cheer. We love people to come downtown. We're just trying to take away any of the barricades that people see with coming downtown. One of the things I hate about coming downtown for lunch is the parking. I don't care for the parking garages. I don't park in them. And if I can't find a place to park on the street, I don't eat downtown.
Yeah, you can do that at the skateboard park. Take all that grassy area over there where everybody is camping and living.
Right.
And make it parking.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good idea.
From that spot, you can walk to Montana Avenue or anywhere over there. To only be a block or two.
Right.
You're right there.
Right. Might catch old Mussaben down at the marble table.
Yeah, you might. Yep, you might. Oh, God. You know what? Mary Sheehy Schmo.
Why does this woman get a platform every Friday?
Because they like her platform. God. Whenever I hear school choice advocates tout the virtues about school choice, I have a stock response. Sounds intriguing. Have you run it by your local school board yet?
You can't have parents picking where their kids are going to go to school.
Democrats don't want you to pick anything for your children. Your gender, where they go to school, their subject matter,
yep.
None of that. That's why we have a lot of the problems that's why Mary Sheehy Schmo is Mary Sheehy Schmo. Can't even read her crap anymore. Can't even read it. Don't even read it. I read a line or two. I already know her approach to that. It's crazy. Why don't you put somebody from Billings in there instead of somebody who used to write for the Missoulian? Why don't you put somebody from Billings in there and title it The Damn Truth?
Going back to your article about a month ago about how you are the most fair media platform in the area.
Okay, what else? Okay, nothing there. Yeah, the officers all over the state yesterday got that hoax. Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Great Falls, Kalispell, Missoula, Helena. So that right away led to a quicker determination that there was no threat because there were so many. But they nipped that in the bud right away and got that taken care of.
Oh, bad news. If you live in the mecca of FCS football, Bobcat football coach Fred Vigan named the Eddie Robinson FCS Coach of the Year.
Yeah, got the Eddie Robinson Award. Yeah, that's right. Well, they and the Grizz have a tough game this weekend, boy.
Yeah, and they're on the road, aren't they?
Yeah, they play the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They won the championship last year. They got a good football team, but, I want the Grizz to win that one.
Oh, absolutely.
I want somebody to win it for Montana. I do. They got a better-looking governor than we do. I'm just saying.
True.
Who's now going to be Homeland Security head, which will be, if she's confirmed, and she should be. So, but they got a big game this week. I forget who the Cats play. Dang it. I should have remembered that. Oh, well. It doesn't matter. But, boy, folks, I got to tell you, these Democrats in Washington, D.C. are scared prepared, they are running, and they are trying to take all the precautions necessary so you and I and everybody else in America, we don't find out what the hell they've been pulling and getting away with for years and years. Now, your president, who lit the Christmas tree last night and told everybody he hopes they enjoy all the eggs that are in their basket this year, he is considering, and it's not him. Keep in mind, who in the hell's running this country right now? None of us know. Okay, it's still Obama and Susan Rice and his group. Kamala Harris, nowhere to be found. Joe Biden is gone. Cognitively, he's been gone for 4 years anyway, and they covered up for him. Yeah. Joe Biden is now weighing whether to issue, listen to this, folks, sweeping pardons for all of these officials and allies who fear when President Donald Trump's administration takes over that Donald Trump and all of his new agencies and people are going to be finding out what they were doing over the last 4 years. So they want Joe Biden to issue a broad scope pardon for anybody in those agencies.
Craving great food and service? Blue Cat Bar and Grill has you covered. Enjoy the best homemade breakfast around, or join them for Italian Monday nights, featuring delicious dishes and trivia with Dave Austin. On Prime Rib Saturday nights, dig into tender prime rib, and don't miss out on their crispy fried chicken. At Blue Cat, they pride themselves on excellent service and a welcoming atmosphere. Visit them today, just 9 miles east of the Metro Park exit.
Now, why would you want a pardon if you're innocent? Mm-hmm. Nobody needs a pardon if you haven't done anything wrong, right? They are all pushing for it. Even members of the news media want him to pardon members of the media because we know what they did.
Wow.
Remember the Russian collusion story? They carried that. I mean, all this kind of crap. They want a broad, preemptive pardon for all these people. Biden discussed the topic with his senior aides. This is so damn crooked. Pardons are historically and have been afforded to those accused of a specific crime. These people haven't been accused yet. These people haven't been pointed out yet. These people haven't had a hearing yet or have been brought forth yet. But Joe Biden and Obama, they know what they did. And so they want a preemptive pardon for all of these people. Who does that include? Well, I'll tell you. People like Mayorkas, Kamala Harris, people like the FBI director, Secret Service, Merrick Garland and the DOJ and his people. We know what they did, trying to derail a political opponent. They want preemptive pardons, folks, for all of these people. You don't need a pardon if you've been doing it by the books.
Right.
You don't need one. They're worried that Trump and the new heads of all these departments will launch investigations in how they have conducted business in America for the last 4 years of this administration, and they want to be pardoned. They know, folks, that's just freaking unbelievable. They know they're guilty. Dr. Anthony Fauci wants a pardon. Why? Oh, hey, Phoebe and the rest of you a-holes that wrote and threatened our life. You know, why would he want a pardon, Mark? If everything was science. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't science.
What he knew about the Wuhan lab and denied it.
And the money he made.
The money he made, how he lied. Rand Paul was on his case. Why would Dr. Fauci, folks, want a pardon before we start finding out the truth behind COVID, huh? Why? He became a pariah to conservatives who were angry about mask mandates and vaccines. You know why? Because we learned.
Yep.
All phony baloney. He already pardoned his son, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that. All of our enemies within, folks, all of them, they're all crying to be protected because they know what's coming. If Kash Patel gets in at the FBI, can you imagine what they're going to find out? And these people want to cover their ass. Look, folks, we know they have hid information. They didn't tell us what they knew or what they were behind. The Department of Justice, the FBI, the Secret Service, all that kind of stuff. They're all crooks, and they know it, and they want a broad pardon to cover all of it. Oh, by the way, yesterday. They're still looking for that guy that shot the United Health CEO in New York. They're getting a bunch of new clues. Their city cameras caught this guy prior to when he shot Brian Thompson walking around town. They've got cameras in New York City. He went into a Starbucks store, bought a bottle of water, had his mask off when he did that, threw the bottle of water in the garbage can. And the police found the water bottle and the protein bar wrapper from the trash can. And the state's medical examiner, they're examining now the wrapper and the bottle because they'll be able to get DNA off of it and use it to help identify who the suspect is. Now, keep in mind, folks, this is New York City. There are 10 million people in New York City. And through their cameras and their medical examiner, they're going to be, they've gotten pictures of this person. They're going to get DNA off a water bottle and a candy bar wrapper of this person. Now, going back to the previous story about why everybody wants a pardon, remember the White House when we found the cocaine there? All right, in the White House, they have a guest list that day of about 200 people that were in the White House that day. All right, not 10 million, 200. The White House has a series of security cameras and things far surpassing that of New York City.
Exactly.
They're looking for 1 in 10 million in New York City, and they're going to be able to find this guy. We're looking for one of the possible 200 guests at the White House whose names we have who were there.
Well, most of us already know
And
who it is.
we got the bag of cocaine. And you know what the FBI could not do, Mark? The FBI, who has far greater abilities to get samples of DNA and hair follicles and stuff than New York City does, folks, they just were not able to get any DNA information, any hair follicles, nothing that would lead them to a suspect in the cocaine bag at the White House. But New York City's going to get this guy out of 10 million. Now you know why all these people want a broad pardon. They knew. And by the way, that evidence was destroyed. So my advice is for the New York investigators, the first thing you need to do is destroy that water bottle, the candy wrapper, and all the video footage. You want to get rid of all that, like we did in the White House for the cocaine caper.
That's what happened.
They know. And the FBI, so compromised, so under the left wing, discarded the evidence. Here's something else. How come we never learned anything about a shooter that almost blew off Donald Trump's head?
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
The FBI, the Secret Service, they're all compromised. They know. See, these guys all want pardons because they know their ass is grass. They took that guy out on the roof. They took him to the federal crime lab, and within 24 hours, they burned his body. They incinerated that young man, cremated him, and got rid of him. We haven't heard hardly anything from his parents.
No, you're right. Not a story at all.
We knew a little bit about his educational background, but they found this kid's computer and his cell phone. FBI, Secret Service. You know, at this point, we really haven't learned much from it. Now, look what these guys in New York City are doing. These are local police departments. Look what they can find out. But our FBI and our Secret Service, we just can't find out this kind of information. To the guy that tried to blow off and hit Donald Trump in the head and missed it by 1 inch. Yeah. Did he have ties? Was he compromised? Was Iran involved? Who knew about it? I bet Barack Obama knows more information about the bag of cocaine and about the shooter in the Trump case than anyone else on the planet. I'll bet he knows.
Yeah.
And once again, folks, we go back to the original story. Everybody wants Joe Biden to issue a broad pardon for all these people in the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Secret Service, the people that worked in the White House, the news reporters that got a perk and were, let's just say, persuaded to cover all these stories a certain way. They all want pardons. They all want pardons, too. Do any of you people have a problem with that? I do. Here's another one I thought of yesterday while I'm out there working on my corrals, planting my little posts. We don't know anything about that laptop. The FBI had that laptop months before the election. That was destroyed. Nobody knows where that laptop is. Even at a congressional hearing, a congressman asked the FBI director, Gray, where's the laptop and who has it? I don't know that information. Or he gave you this. Well, it's an ongoing investigation. No, that investigation's done. What happened to that?
Just went away.
It's gone.
Just magic.
Gone. It's gone. We have no information about any of this kind of stuff. Dr. Fauci wanting a full pardon? Why? This was all. We listened to his crap for 2 years, all based on science, research. He wants a full pardon.
No, he should be in jail.
Look how many people in America died from that vaccine, or got sick, or have complications from it. People lost their jobs. Full pardons, folks. All these people, they all want Joe Biden to give them all full pardons. People who are innocent do not demand pardons.
No.
Never. They didn't give Donald Trump a pardon when it came to a president of the United States or a former president being able to have classified documents. He's allowed to, and the president can declassify anything that he wants. They raided this man's home. They got into Melania Trump's underwear drawer, which I can't say I blame them. Raided his place. Now, Joe Biden, he had classified documents, folks, in 7 different locations. He was only a senator at the time, and a vice president, and they do not have the authority to have classified documents. Only the president of the United States. He had them in 7. They never did an investigation. What have you heard about that investigation? What was in those documents? We know that a lot of them he gave to a book writer, and he wrote a book off some of them and made millions from it. But yet, they're still trying to go after Trump for having classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. That's one of the cases that they want dropped immediately, and it probably will be, but not after Joe Biden. What happened to all that information, folks? What happened to all of it? Just think of that. All the information on Biden's document case. All the information on the Ukraine deal between Biden's and the Ukraine with the laptop. Testimony. Bank records, folks, showing deposits, massive amount, not on Congress payday either. All of this. You know what? The cocaine. All of this stuff. The shooter in Trump's case. All of this stuff, folks. All of this. It's all gone.
Craving great food and service? Blue Cat Bar and Grill has you covered. Enjoy the best homemade breakfast around, or join them for Italian Monday nights, featuring delicious dishes and trivia with Dave Austin. On Prime Rib Saturday nights, dig into tender prime rib, and don't miss out on their crispy fried chicken. At Blue Cat, they pride themselves on excellent service and a welcoming atmosphere. Visit them today, just 9 miles east of the Metro Park exit.
I'm sorry, folks, we just don't have that anymore. It was discarded, and we blah, blah, blah. And yet the guys in New York City are going to find this kid. And all of those people involved in all of those things want broad pardons to cover all of them. And we had 25,000 people in Yellowstone County vote for all of them people.
Yeah.
All of those people.
And not knowing all that. I just know I don't like the orange man.
That's right. Broad pardons. They're going to clean it up. They're going to try. Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, they were on the Capitol yesterday. They showed footage yesterday of one of your federal workers, folks, that you and I pay for. You people that are getting up right now, you got a headache because it's so early. You've been busting your ass, getting ready for the holidays, taking care of your family, your own business deals. They had a picture yesterday of a federal worker who's working from home. By the way, only 1% of all federal workers go to the office 5 days a week now. 1%. Now, if you were educated in Washington, D.C., that means that 99% are not. They're working from home. They had video yesterday of a federal worker joined in on his Zoom meeting that they have in the mornings while he's in taking a bubble bath in his bathroom. Mark, I went out and beat my head up against the side of the brick wall. And these people all want full pardons. Full pardons. And you watch. It wouldn't surprise me if if everybody in Washington gets a pardon from this a-hole. Oh, and they're going to find out where the waste is. But, folks, I hope you're as mad about all that stuff as I am. Got a couple big events this weekend. We got the toy run. That's coming up this weekend. That's Sunday, right?
Sunday at noon. Starts at the fire station on the north side, First Avenue North, Broadwater, down 24th to the mall.
Big toy run. Big thing every year. Got Festival of Trees. That's up at Metro Park. You'll be able to go up and view the trees if you want to do that this weekend. It's kind of a neat thing. By the way, news out of Metro Park. Metro Park is in the process of tackling the parking problem. They have an illegal parking problem, according to Metro Park General Manager Stony Field. Now, folks, I told Mark yesterday, I haven't seen Stony Field anywhere.
I haven't either.
He's never on camera. I never see any news stories. He never stops by the radio stations. God, Bill Chiasa, I had him out Mark brought him out to the ranch.
Right.
Always accessible, always did interviews and stuff. But anyway, that's for a different day. And they explained to the county commissioners last Monday they're in the process of engaging a towing company to respond to the parking violators. This was reported in the Yellowstone County News. One of the problems at Metro Park is there are very few signs there indicating prohibited parking areas and no penalties for improper parking. Now, we've all seen it during the rodeo and stuff. Guys will drive their four-wheel drive pickups right up on the side of the hill where the grass is, and they park there. But it's become a big problem, and it's also blocking other people now. They're parking in the landscaped areas, and it makes it impossible for the other vehicles to get out if they're there. So they've had to spend time in the past trying to track down these drivers, get them to move their vehicle. So Metro Park took the next step, and they put up some physical barriers around the area that discourage improper parking. That hasn't worked, and they're damaging the grounds. So here's what they've done, or will do. They're going to put up parking restriction signs with information about how to contact the towing company should there be a vehicle that needs to be towed. If you own that vehicle and you are parked illegally, you'll have to pay the tow company to get your vehicle back, and you're going to be pissed. Not only that, they should put a big finger on your windshield because
We're not putting fingers.
yes, we should, because screw you. You parked illegally.
Right.
You broke the law. So people at Metro Park would be authorized to contact the towing company and say, we need this vehicle removed. Several towing companies are interested. And here's the deal. The towing companies that are selected, they're going to pay for all the signs. So it won't cost Metro Park anything, which is good. It won't cost us anything. The towing companies will put up the signs that say, no parking area, vehicles will be towed, no parking here. You'll be able to see the signs. You'll know you're breaking the law, and you're going to do it anyway because yours doesn't smell, basically. And when you break the law, those towing companies will be called and you will be charged. Making those signs is kind of expensive, so Metro Park won't have to pay for that, which is good. I like all of it so far except for the last paragraph. I like it all so far, folks, except for the last paragraph. Commissioner Mark Morse said he wants to make sure that the fees are reasonable. Excessive fees to retrieve a vehicle would cast Metro Park in a bad light. Okay, a couple things. Number one, if you want your kid to be home by midnight, you don't tell him this. All right, the next time you go out, I'm going to make sure there's only 3/4 of a tank of gas in the car when you take it if you continue to be late. No, penalties have to be harsh so people don't commit the crime. Number one, you're worried about Metro Park being in a bad light for enforcing the law? That's stupid. And number two, if you're worried about it may put Metro Park in a bad light because of the excessive fees, you charge $12 to get into the fair before you can do anything. $12 just to walk in the gate. And you're worried that excessive fees would put Metro Park in a bad light. You know what? Fees that don't have an impact on a person's decision would put Metro Park in a bad light. Yeah, it's $5 to get your car back. Well, that's paying $5 to park in a spot right up next to the door on the landscaping. That's all that is.
Well, and
That's dumb.
I parked somewhere one time in Missoula, got my pickup towed. When I went and picked it up, if the guy would have said it's only $5, I would have said, I don't care. You took my frickin' vehicle. You know, that puts you in a bad light no matter what you're charging.
Right. The tow companies have to be able to pay their people, recover their cost. You know what? It doesn't, it's not cheap to send a wrecker out somewhere, hook up a car, load it on the back of the truck, and get it out of there. They have insurance, they have liability, they're paying their employees.
To buy a tow truck.
You're worried about the bad light it might put Metro in? Stupid. That's dumb. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Yeah, we don't. We got a new rule too. We don't want people breaking into Metro Park after hours and stealing our money. But if you do get caught, we want to make sure that there's no jail time, no fine, nothing like that, because we don't want to put Metro Park in a bad light. That's just dumb.
And it's not up to you.
No, it's not. That's just stupid. We're worried about, we don't want the fees excessive. Have you bought a concert ticket? Talk about fees. Look look at all this crap, and they're worried about that one for lawbreakers. They're not worried about the fees that everyday law-abiding citizens pay, are they, Mark?
Because there's the concert ticket price, and then there's additional fees.
Right. Or people getting into the fair. They're not worried about those fees. Only the ones that people that are breaking the law. They're worried about those fees. That's just a dumb, irresponsible statement. That's stupid.
Message here. The water place behind Buck's Bar cost $300 to get your vehicle back 15 years ago, and nobody stopped going to Buck's.
People know.
Yeah.
People who don't break the law don't have to worry about it. Why are you putting more value on the lawbreakers than you are the people that obey the law?
Yeah.
We're worried that people who are breaking the law might have a different view of Metro Park. That is the dumbest ass statement I have ever heard in my life. So, but they're going to crack down on the illegal parking and people. And there's fire hazards. All kinds of stuff there. Ruining our landscaping. Your general manager, Mr. Commissioner, just said they're ruining the landscaping, which cost us to repair it, fix it, replant it, regrow it. And you're worried about what impression a towed vehicle may leave on the lawbreaker. This is why I'm not sure we can retire. Otherwise, this kind of stuff just gets overlooked. But then again, if we do retire, my blood pressure will be great. I won't get all worked up about all this kind of stuff. They can just have their way. Doesn't matter if it's a city council or a school board or commissioners, or they can just all have their way, their rosy little way, and they don't have to worry about having a loud voice out there, some a-hole on the radio jumping up and down every time they make a decision. You think you're so smart. Well, why don't you? Well, I give you plenty of suggestions all the time. Think. You're supposed to think before you act. Think it out before you act. You're doing something good here. You're going to fix the illegal parking problem and everything. And then everything was so nice until the very end. Oh well, 6th of December. Did Deanne, did she tell you how many days yet? Oh, okay. I was wondering if she was listening this morning and see if she knew. We got to be getting close. Got to be 50 or under, right? Oh, yeah.
Right around 50 somewhere.
Oh, yeah. 25 and 19. Hell, we're in the 40s.
To quote Larry Algard, who goes on the trips with us, just doesn't matter.
Well, that's a good point. That's right. I know where I'm going to be, so
That's
it
right.
doesn't matter.
And I know Paul's going to tell me, Mark, I'm leaving before you, but in 2 days you need to be at the airport.
That's right.
Just doesn't matter.
There you go.
First news coming up, 6:12.
The Breakfast Flakes podcast brought to you by the Blue Cat Bar and Grill, next to the Roadside Events Center in Huntley. The Blue Cat, it's where it's at.